Welcome to the Storm Trysail Foundation's instructional video series that will help you prepare for the Hands-on Safety at Sea seminar. This video focuses on storm sails. I'm Gary Jobson. Like any sail, a storm trysail or storm jib is designed to fit a specific size boat. The rules limit the maximum area of storm sails. These sails need to be trimmed properly. In strong winds, smaller is often better. Storm sails are made out of heavy 9 or 10 ounce cloth, usually Dacron. High-tech materials are not allowed. All storm sails are required to be made out of high visibility colors such as day glow pink, orange, or yellow. In heavy seas, white sails are difficult to see by search teams or other boats. Older sails must have high visibility patches on each side. A storm trysail is a triangular sail hoisted on the mast with a tack line pennant permanently attached that places the tack above the traditional gooseneck position. With its hollow cut leech, no battens are required, and its droop clew allows sheeting either to spinnaker blocks or directly on the boom. The storm jib is much smaller than a heavy weather jib or a number 4 Genoa. Like the storm trysail, a storm jib needs to be made out of heavy Dacron that is a high visibility color such as day glow orange. A storm jib has a hollow foot and leech. It is set off a tack pennant. This raises the foot of the sail off the deck to prevent it from catching water that might be breaking over the bow. The first reef is set in winds over 20 to 25 knots. The second reef is used in wind over 25 to 30 knots. If available, a third reef point can be used in the 30 to 40 knot wind range. Above 40 knots, you will be in the wind range of your storm sails. If there are only 2 sets of reef points, you will probably be setting your storm sails in the 40 knot wind range. There is no universal wind speed or sea conditions at which point you would set your storm sails. Conditions vary from boat to boat. For example, circumstances change. If you have a masthead or fractional rig, the displacement of your boat and other factors determine when you might set your storm sails. Racing boats are usually allowed to carry only one mainsail. Storm sails help save the full-size sails from damage when high winds persist. When setting storm sails, start with the storm jib. As with your other racing sails, you will tend to change to a smaller jib before shortening your mainsail. The same pattern is true for setting storm sails, but with a different logic, a safety-first logic. For safety reasons, never allow 2 sails to be set at the same time. It's dangerous working on the foredeck. While setting storm sails, minimize crew time on the bow. Be aware of obstacles to work around in a big or confused seaway. A bald-headed jib change lessens the chance of a sail being washed overboard since the crew is handling one sail at a time. The crew should always wear safety harnesses. Take down the old jib first. Pass the lowered sail aft, fold it, and finally secure it down below. An old adage, many hands make light work. Unfolded sails down below take up too much room, soak the interior, and are hard to reset. With the old jib now below, run the storm jib's permanently attached sheets through the pre-designated jib leads and aft to a winch. Prepare a storm jib in stops before setting it. This allows hoisting in a controlled, safe manner and prevents the sheets from whipping around as the sail is raised. To stop your storm jib, start by laying it on a flat surface and folding the clew over about a foot past the luff, taking the sheets with the clew. Then roll the belly of the jib into itself. Using yarn as stops, secure the rolled storm jib using the grommets on its luff. Do not tie them around the actual luff of the sail, which would prevent the stop sail from fitting into the head sail foil. When hoisting the storm jib, attach the tack pennant to the tack fitting on the bow. Next, attach the halyard. Before you raise the storm jib, take a sail tie and strop the head to the headstay. Check that your sheets are laid correctly before hoisting. Once hoisted, take another sail tie and strop the now elevated tack to the headstay as well. This will prevent the luff tape from pulling out of the headstay foil. Finally, trim in the storm jib. The yarn stops will break out and you will have successfully and safely set the storm jib. The grommets and the luff of the storm jib are there as a backup if the luff foil fails. You can tie the sail to the headstay in the manner of old-fashioned hanks. When you're ready to set the Storm Trysail, the first thing you need to consider is how long severe weather will last. If the storm sail is expected to pass quickly, keep the furled main attached to the boom. If severe weather is forecasted to last a long time, fold the mainsail on the boom, tie it up, remove it, and pass it below. This is basic prudent seamanship. Once you've made the decision to keep or stow the mainsail, it's time to set the Storm Trysail. Let's look at the actual sail configuration and your mast. On a boat with a bolt rope mainsail luff, your Storm Trysail will have a heavy slug at both the head and the tack. It's critical that these slugs be inserted with the bolt rope into the mast groove, as they will help withstand the loads of the sail. There is a permanently attached tack pennant with a position marker stitched on it. This indicates how high to raise the sail on the mast. Predetermine where to put this mark on a calm practice day. Trim the Storm Trysail so there's equal tension on the foot and the leech, similar to trimming any headsail. Before hoisting the trysail, sheet the storm jib to windward. Steer on a heave-to course until the trysail is set. This will help stabilize the boat in heavy seas and make the transition to the trysail a safer evolution. Attach the tack pennant by tying it securely around the gooseneck fitting. Put multiple wraps around the gooseneck and the stitch tack preset marker in the proper location. Before hoisting, run the permanently attached sheet back to the leeward spinnaker block and then to a winch. Hoist the halyard, making sure both slugs are in the luff groove. Also run another strop around the tack and the mast as another safety measure. For boats with mainsail slugs, slides, or luff cars, the safest setup is to install a separate Storm Trysail track so that you don't have to remove the luff hardware from the mast before hoisting the Storm Trysail. The track should come down to a foot above the cabin top so that the crew can sit while loading the trysail slides onto the track. When the trysail has a separate track, you can load the sail onto the track before a storm arrives. Leave it in the bag until you need to hoist it. When the storm arrives, hoisting the sail only requires attaching the halyard and leading the sheets. For boats with a single track or groove, rigging the trysail will have to be set with the crew standing up to take the mainsail out of the mast before loading the luff of the trysail. Once the trysail is set and is ready to be sheeted, ease the storm jib back to its leeward sheeting position. To sail closer to the wind, it helps to use the lazy sheet as an in-hauler to trim the trysail closer to the boat's centerline. An alternative is to attach the clew to the boom and sheet it with the main sheet. This frees up the cockpit winches. Setting a storm jib and trysail is a unique system that requires advanced practice. Practice is important in any wind strength. Strop the corners of the sail properly and preset the trysail on its own track. Once set, sail with your storm sails to feel the balance of the boat. Try reaching with outboard trysail leads, or beating with the trysail clew to the boom. Once you've got it down, make notes and share this information with other crew members, and then practice it again. Storm sails must be made to fit your boat. The ISEF specifications for the maximum size of your sails are: a Storm Trysail's area shall not be greater than 17.5% of the mainsail hoist, measurement P, times the mainsail foot length measurement E. A storm jib's area shall not be greater than 5% of the height of the fore triangle squared, with a maximum luff length of 65% of the height of the fore triangle. Be cautious using a storm jib. A trysail helps steady the mast as the boat pitches through heavy seas. When not using the boom, consider lowering the boom and securing it to the deck for safety. As you prepare for the Storm Trysail Foundation's Hands-On Safety at Sea seminar with an eye towards ISAF offshore certification, keep in mind what you've learned in this video. Yes, you'll be tested on it, but more importantly, knowing how to properly set your storm sails will make you safer at sea. For more, go to www.stormtrysail.org to see all the Hands-On Safety at Sea seminar videos.